السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي فضل الإسلام على سائر الأديان وفضل أمة الإسلام على سائر الأمم وفضل محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم على الخلق أجمعين. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له قيوم السماوات والأراضين بعث نبيه محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم رحمة للعالمين. Brothers and sisters in Islam, we thank the Almighty Allah for another opportunity to be here. We thank Him for His mercies that He's bestowed upon us. We bear witness that there is no deity worthy of worship except the Almighty Allah alone. And we bear witness that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is His servant and His messenger. Whosoever the Almighty Allah guides is really guided. And anybody who goes astray has nobody to blame but themselves. Today is a Friday, the 5th day of Safar, 1446 years after the hijrah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, which I believe corresponds with the 9th day of August 2024. The Almighty Allah, in His mercy, has given us an opportunity to come to His house, to get closer to Him, and also to bond with other brothers and sisters in the deen. It is not by our making, it is not by our choice, it's just a mercy bestowed upon us by the Almighty Allah. You know very well that there are other Muslims at this time of the day, they have other important things to do than come to the masjid. But you and I have been given this gift by the Almighty Allah to come to the masjid at this time to have this covenant with the Almighty Allah. This in itself is a blessing, it's a mercy from the Almighty Allah that we need to thank the Almighty Allah for it. As a community, not only here in Philadelphia or in the United States, wherever Muslims find themselves, it's very, very important that we understand that we are one nation, irrespective of the differences that we might have, irrespective of whatever situations that we might find ourselves in. Whatever is bothering a Muslim brother in America bothers a Muslim brother in the UK or in South Africa or in Saudi Arabia or in Palestine. Whatever we are one nation. But then if you observe the Muslim Ummah today, it's very painful. The situation that we find ourselves in. Muslim nations have now become the most unstable part of the earth, where we're killing each other and we're giving the enemy the opportunity to kill us more. If you want to find the most unstable places on earth today, just visit the Muslim nations, whether it's in the Middle East or it's in Africa. There's an old African proverb that says that when there is no enemy within, the enemy without can do us nothing. We need to get our right act together. We need to understand the realities on the ground as Muslims. We need to come together and then forge a way forward for ourselves. Otherwise, we will remain at the background of the world civilization, the movement. We will be on the table to be discussed, not at the table to be part of the discussion. The number one thing we must understand and embrace is the diversity that the Almighty Allah gave us as Muslims. And I dare say that there is no movement on the surface of the earth. There is no religion on the surface of the earth. There is no ideology on the surface of the earth that at its inception you have racial equality, you have racial diversity, you have a human dignity and importance and equality than Islam. There is no system in the world that has it. If you know of any religion, if you know of any system that at its inception, at the very first days, you find all these differences and diversities in there, give it to me. If you go to Medina during the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you find Umar bin Khattab, an Arab, next to Bilal, an Ethiopian, next to Suhaib, a Roman, and next to Salman, a Persian, all eating from the same bowl, drinking from the same cup, sleeping on the same mat. This guy is an Arab, the other guy is my uncle from Africa, the other guy is a Persian, and the other guy is a Roman. No religion in the world has it. It's only Islam that has this. And the Almighty Allah makes it very clear in the Quran in Surah Al-Rum, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ خَلْقُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. From the signs of the Almighty Allah is the creation of the heavens and the earth. وَاخْتِلَافُ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ وَأَلْوَانِكُمْ. And the differences in your pigments and then the tongues, the languages, the ideas that you have. And the Almighty Allah said, إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِلْعَالِمِينَ. Verily in this is signs for people who know, people who reflect, people who think deep, people who are understanding. If you look at Muslims, wherever we find ourselves in, irrespective of where you are coming from, the moment you enter the masjid and then you say Assalamu alaikum, irrespective of whether they understand your language or whether they know you or they don't know you, the moment you say Assalamu alaikum, everybody says Wa alaikum assalam, and then you become a brother there, and that's it. And it's only Islam that has given us that, and that's our power. That's our source of power. Listen, go and bring a Chinese Muslim. He doesn't understand anything. The only language he speaks is what? Is Chinese. He's a memorizer of the Quran, a hafiz of the Quran. Go to the continent, go to Africa, go to my village and go get one of my granddads who does not understand any language except the local language, and then he's memorized the Quran. And come here to Philly and get a fully grown American who understands only the English language, and then he's memorized the Quran. And then let this Chinese guy start saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. My granddad from Africa will continue without any problem. And the American guy will continue without problem. They don't understand each other's language. They don't know where they're from. They might never have even seen each other. But that synergy, that connection, that love, that brotherhood, that understanding flows between them, because this is a gift from the Almighty Allah. And that's the source of our power. But today, it's so sad that Muslims who came to break the shackles of racial disparity, Islam that came to break the mindset of I'm better than you because of my color. This is what is eating us today. Maybe in America today, you see, this is Albanian mosque. This is the Turkish mosque. This is the African mosque. And this is the Egyptian mosque. And this is the Sudanese mosque. And if you come in there and then you don't look Sudanese, it's like you are a kafir. If you go in there and then you don't look African, you're like, yo, where are you from? But then, what did the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ teach us? We need to harness this power. We are 2 billion people on the surface of the earth. But then we cannot agree to swat a flag. Look at the situation of the Palestinians. Of all the money we have as Muslims in the world, of all the power we have as Muslims in the world, our brothers and sisters are massacred daily, not only in Palestine. If you go to Syria, if you go to Lebanon, if you go to Iraq, if you go to Afghanistan, if you go to Yemen, if you come to Egypt, if you come to Libya, if you go to Sudan, you go to Nigeria, you go to Mali, you go to Niger, you just name the countries that are under turmoil, political instability, and you can list 50 countries on the top 50 and they're all Muslim nations. It's sad that irrespective of this power that the Almighty Allah has given us, we are still wallowing in the pains of what? Of I'm white, you're black, I'm blue, you're green. I don't know where you're from, but the La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam brings us together. Listen, irrespective of the manhaj that we are on. Yes, I'm a Sunni Salafi. Yes, that's who I am. My cousin, who might be a Sufi, I don't agree with him on a lot of stuff. But then again, we all fall under the umbrella of La ilaha illallah. There are times and situations and conditions that we need to come and sit on the same table and discuss the progress of Muslims and the safety of Muslims. It's very, very important. I'm not saying all Muslims, everybody, it's not possible. Understand, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ made it very clear that yes, the Ummah is going to have this difference of opinion. He made it very clear. So I can't tell you that, no, let's find a way of, all coming together. No, we cannot come together and then put all those differences aside. It's not possible. The Prophet Muhammad made it clear. But then again, if there are situations and conditions where we can sit on the same table, it's okay, fine. This is my aqidah, this is your aqidah, fine. But then there is a common threat that we need to face. And this is what the Muslim Ummah must do to say. And that's it. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, when he was in Medina, he said, in Jahiliyyah, I was called to a pact. The kuffar in Jahiliyyah called to a pact. A man came to Mecca to sell some goods, and one of the people of Mecca defrauded him. And this man climbed on one of the mountains of Mecca, and then he screamed and then he shouted, I've been defrauded, who's going to help me? And the kuffar in Jahiliyyah called to a pact that we're going to help every person who is being oppressed. And the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was called to that pact, and he was around 20 years old, 20-year-old man. He was called to that pact, and then he said in Islam that I was called to a pact in Jahiliyyah. If they call me to it today, I will join them because I want to help the oppressed. I want to help the oppressed. So the number one power we have as a ummah is the diversity that the Almighty Allah has given us. And until we accept that diversity, we'll always be at the back of the wagon. Number two, we are a chosen nation. Let's understand that. Listen, irrespective of the challenges that we have as Muslims, we are a chosen nation. We were chosen by the Almighty Allah. The Almighty Allah said, "Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas." You are the best of nations. Ukhrijat linnas. You were produced purposely for humanity. Ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhawna 'anil munkar. You order people to do good deeds and then you advise them against evil deeds. Wa tu'minuna billah, and then you believe in the Almighty Allah. Listen, Muslims, we are the custodians of morality. We are the ones who are supposed to guide humanity to the right path. That is our duty. That is why the Almighty Allah brought us to the dunya. We should not be passive members of the community. No, we should be active members of the community because we need to guide the community to what is right. Look at all these foolish liberal ideologies that are being pushed down people's throats. The reason why Islam stands firm against all this, and the reason why the liberal left have a problem with Islam. Listen, atheists do not have a problem with religion. They have a problem with Islam. These modern day atheists, read the books of Sam Harris and Krauss. Read their books. Their problem is not about religion. Their problem is about Islam. Islam is the headache for them because of all the religions in the world today, it's only Islam that is still remaining pure, pristine, without any adulteration, without any modification. Take any book in the world today and you find edition 1, edition 2, edition 3, 1964 edition, but it's only the Quran since its inception, since the first days that the Quran was revealed till today, not a single dot has been changed. It's only the Quran. And that has safeguarded Islam. And as Muslims, wherever you go, we are here praying Salatul Dhuhr, Salatul Jum'ah. Anybody who comes in here, even if he doesn't understand the English language that we are using to deliver the khutbah, understands what's going on. He knows that the Imam is delivering the khutbah. He's going to sit down very soon. He's going to come up and deliver the second khutbah. And after that, he's going to pray, and he's going to pray 2 rakats, and that's it. Salaam alaikum, we are done. Every Muslim knows this. Every Muslim knows this. No Muslim would come to Jummah and think maybe the Imam today is going to pray 3 rakats or 4 rakats or 5. No. No Muslim has that in the back of his mind. We are a chosen nation. We are the only religion in the world that has a uniformity. The Imam says Allahu Akbar and everybody else says what? Allahu Akbar, and that's it. The Imam goes to ruku, Allahu Akbar, everybody follows. It's not like the Imam is doing something else and someone is doing something else. No, we have that discipline. It is only Islam that has that. So these liberal, ideologies that are being pushed down people's throats, we are the ones who have the solution to it. We are the ones. We shouldn't be naive. We shouldn't be timid. Let's give the solutions out. People need the antivirus. They need it. People need the vaccine. They need it. We have the vaccine. We have the antivirus. Why are we sitting on it? Why are we not giving it out to people? Why are we not spreading the message? Why are we not giving people the light of Islam? Why? In one of the television stations in the Arab world, a Muslim called in the television program, and then he called, one of the Arabs, Dawah, they went to one of the villages and then they spread Islam. And one of the people who accepted Islam was telling the sheikh who came, he said, Wallahi, my parents will stand in front of Allah on the day of judgment against you. And then he asked him why. He said, you people should have been here 20 years ago to do the da'wah so that my parents would accept Islam. My parents died not on the way of Islam. The onus is upon us to spread the message. The onus is upon us to give the da'wah. And not necessarily by mountain pulpits, by even our own ideologies, our lifestyles should depict some positivity for the non-Muslims. Let's let them smell the good fragrance of Islam in us. That is how we do positive da'wah. Your non-Muslim colleague at work, let him feel Islam in you. Your neighbor, let them smell the fragrance of Islam in you. Listen, you can't be a Muslim and be with the homies drinking and gambling and smoking. How would you call them to Islam? You can't be at the workplace with the people and then anytime there's any poolside party, you are there in your shorts and then you're hugging a non-Muslim woman and you shaking them and then, hitting them behind and you want to call them to Islam. It's not going to work. They need to see that in you. They need to feel that fragrance in you. America thirsts for Islam. Yes. Christianity doesn't solve their problems. They understand that. That is why a lot of people who leave Christianity, they become atheists. There's only a few that the Almighty Allah guides them to Islam. So they understand that Christianity doesn't solve the problem. Because of all these different Christian denominations, you don't see any synergy in them. The Anglicans are different, the Baptists are different, the Catholics are different, the Presbyterians are different. They're all different. The way the Catholics worship is different from how the Anglicans do it. The way the Anglicans do it is different from how the Baptists do it. If you see them, you think they're different religions, but one religion is there. But look at us. Wherever you go, it's the same thing that is going on. So my brothers, wallahi, let's call people to Islam. All these foolish liberal ideologies that are being thrown out there, we have the solution to it. LGBTQ, we have the solution to it. Alcoholism and drugs, we have the solution to it. Interest rate, we have the solution to it. Moral decadence, we have the solution to it. Youth indiscipline, we have the solution to it. Name it, promiscuity, we have the solution to it. Godlessness, we have the solution to it. Depression and anxiety, we have the solution to it. Joblessness, we have the solution to it. Give me any American problem that you know of, and then together with the shuyukh who are even more than me, we will find the solution for you in the Quran and the Sunnah. So Muslims, why are you sitting on the solution? Why are you not giving it out to the people? Why are you being selfish? Go out there and preach Islam with your manners. Go out there and let the Muslims see the beauty of Islam. I read a story on Facebook that a neighborhood had a new imam, a new mosque, new imam. And there was this bus driver, who had been reading about Islam and he wanted to accept Islam. But then, he hesitated. So he heard that, there's a new imam in town, and he wanted to see the character of the imam. So the imam boards the bus, and then he gives the bus driver money, and the bus driver gives him change more than necessary. So the imam sits in the bus, and then he looks, he's supposed to give me 25 cents, he's supposed to give me a quarter. He's giving me 75 cents. And Shaitan started playing with his mind. Give it back. No, keep it. 50 cents is nothing. Give it back. Keep it. Give it back. Give it back. Give it back. Give it. And then when he got to where he was supposed to drop off from the bus, he turned to the driver and said, you gave me more change than I deserve. You gave me 75 cents. You're supposed to give me a quarter. And then the bus driver said, I tested. And you passed. I was thinking of the Muslims. The Imam said when he got off the bus, his feet couldn't carry me. He had to hold a pole because he said, I nearly sold Islam for 50 cents. أقول ما تسمعون أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي أما بعد. We were speaking about the power of the Ummah. We spoke about the diversity that the Almighty Allah has given us as Ummah. And even if you look into the masjid right now, you can see us from different backgrounds. Beautiful. Different people, different backgrounds. Irrespective of where we're coming from, we're sitting next to each other, and I don't feel any enmity towards you, and I don't feel anything, but I'm not worried. I feel safe sitting next to you when I don't even know your first and last name. I don't even know where you're coming from, but then I'm sitting in the masjid next to you, I'm comfortable. And after salah, salamu alaikum warahmatullah, salamu alaikum warahmatullah, I shake hands with you, I embrace you, I kiss you. This is the beauty of Islam. And this brings us to our next point, that the power of the Ummah lies in its brotherhood. Our power lies in the brotherhood. And wallahi, this is what we need to strengthen. The brotherhood between us. It's very, very important. We need to close the ranks. We need to be very, very, very strong in the love we have for each other, and be very, very, very sincere in the love we have for each other. When the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ migrated to Medina, he instituted a social policy where he brings someone from Mecca and then he puts him together with someone from Medina, and then he makes them brothers. And this social policy was so strong that at the beginning, if anybody from Mecca dies, his brother from Medina inherited him. Yes, it was that powerful. It was later that the verses of inheritance was revealed, then that was abolished. But then at the beginning, brothers, friends were inheriting from each other. The Prophet made Abdurrahman bin Auf to be a brother to Sa'd ibn Rabi al-Ansari. And Sa'd ibn Rabi al-Ansari was the wealthiest man in Medina. And Abdurrahman bin Auf, like the rest of the people from Mecca, flee from Mecca. They left homes, they left families, they left money, they left businesses. They came to Medina with nothing. So they've come and they don't have anything. And the Prophet ﷺ puts them into that policy. Then Sa'd tells Abdurrahman, I am the wealthiest man in Medina. I'm going to split my properties into two. I'm going to give you 50% and I'm going to take 50%. I have two wives. You're going to look at them. The one that pleases you, I'm going to divorce her and you are going to marry her. You guys didn't hear me well. He said, I have two wives. And you, Abdurrahman, you're going to look at them. The one that pleases you, I, Abdurrahman, I'm going to divorce her. And you will marry her. Listen, if I have two wives, and you come to Philadelphia in the winter, wallahi, you sleeping alone, bro. You sleeping alone. You need to get 5 blankets. You need to turn the heat up in the room. Because I ain't giving you my wife. Listen, I could give you $1, but my wife, forget it. Even if I have 1,000, you're not getting even half. But these people, because of true iman and love, he was willing to give his wife, divorce her, and when he marries her, he was willing to split his property into two and say, take 50% of my estate. What did Abdurrahman bin Auf say? Oh, okay, no problem, let's get along. No. He said, Barakallahu laka fi malika wa ahlik. May the Almighty Allah bless you in your wife and then your money. Dullani ala suq. Guide me to the market. He didn't take advantage of the generosity of Sa'd ibn Rabi al-Ansari. And this love that they showed each other was so powerful that it transcends to today. And when we were real with each other, we ruled the known world for 1,000 years. From the mountains of Siberia in the north to the Indian Ocean in the south. From the mountains of Mongolia in the east to the doors of Paris and Spain and Portugal in the west. We ruled the known world. The Persian and the Roman Empire trembled when they heard the names of the Sahaba. But today, where are we? Today, what are we doing? Popes and cardinals feared the names of the Sahaba. Umar ibn Khattab was a nightmare for Roman generals. Khalid ibn al-Walid, when the Roman generals hear his name, excuse my language, they shake their pants. Where are Khalids today? And where are Umars today? And where are Abu Bakrs today? Where are Ali's and Uthman's today? Where are they? Our young boys are rappers. Our young ladies are in wigs and long eyelashes and long layers, and they all know how to just catwalk and TikTok and Snapchat. Where are Khadijas today? Where are Fatimas today? Where are Aishas today? When we speak about the power of the Ummah, we're not speaking about anything hypothetical. We're speaking about real facts on the ground. And Muslims, if we want to go back to our power of yesterday, it is still possible. Yes, it's possible. Irrespective of the challenges that we have, it is possible. The solution is this. Our iman with the Almighty Allah should be sincere. Our love for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam should be true. And finally, our love for each other should be sincere. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا إنك جامع الناس ليوم لا ريب فيه إن الله لا يخلف الميعاد. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله.